Welcome to a reading vlog. Hi, my name is Jeanette and I want to thank you for joining me on the channel Jane Reads. So I thought I would try to do a reading vlog each time I do a prompt on my yearly reading challenge, or each time I read a book for my yearly reading challenge. So in case you didn't know, I have created a Christian fiction reading challenge for 2024. I will link the announcement video in the description below so you can go back to that video and see me talking about the prompts, and also the link to this printable is in that video. So anyways, so each month I have a prompt, and then there's a couple bonus prompts, 3 bonus prompts in case you don't like one of these or you just want to read extra, which I plan on reading extra. Anyways, so January's prompt is to start a series. So today I am starting book 1 of a series, and that book is All Right Here by Carre Armstrong Gardner. This is book 1 of the Darlene family series. It is a contemporary. It just says general fiction on the back of it. It is a Christian fiction. It is published by Tyndale. And this is a book that my TBR game chose for January. And I will link that video in the description below as well, because I'm excited to play my new TBR game. It is called TBR Bonkers. So if you haven't seen it, you can go back and watch that video. And this month, which was January was the first month that I played it, and I got 5 books. So it was really nice to me the first time. We'll see what happens going forward. Is when I play for February, is it going to be as nice? I don't know, but I'm hoping. So the end spot on my game is to read a book from my TBR bingo board. And the way that book is chosen is through a spinner wheel, and it picked this book. And this book went on my TBR bingo board. It is one of the books that my BFF chose for me to read. And when she put it on the bingo board, she said, it just seems different from what you normally read. And from what I know about it, which is very little, but yes, it does sound different from what I normally read, because it sounds more like a family drama thing when it starts with a married couple already at the beginning. So we will see. But I picked it up because I just love this cover. Like, it's just beautiful. Nice, not very wintry, what we're experiencing right now in January, but that's okay because I have winter outside. I don't need it in my books as well. So we have just a kind of, it reminds me more like for Canadian Thanksgiving outside. We'd never have an American Thanksgiving outside in Canada, or like in Ontario anyways, because my birthday always falls around American Thanksgiving and it always snows. So yeah, this would not happen here, but that's fine. So let me tell you, what is this book about? It says, the family you want isn't always the family you need. Ivy Darling can't have children of her own, and her husband Nick's resentment is forcing them apart. And while Ivy has the support and love of her large, close-knit family, Nick's family has never welcomed her into the fold. When the 3 children next door are abandoned by their mother, Ivy and Nick take them in for the night. One night becomes several, and suddenly Ivy and Nick find themselves foster parents to the only African-American kids in the town of Copper Cove, Maine. As Ivy grows more attached to the children, Nick refuses to accept their eccentric household as a permanent family. Just as Ivy begins to question whether or not she wants to save her emotionally barren marriage, Nick begins to discover how much Ivy and the children mean to him. But is his change of heart too little, too late? So I'm hoping it's like a redemption, reestablishing a romance. Like, I'm hoping it's, happy ending. What I'm hoping for, we will see. But before I can officially start this book, I am also reading The Case for Jesus Christ by Randy Singer. I've taken off the dust jacket of it. I am currently but almost halfway through for it. This is another book that was on that came through my game. And it is a nonfiction, so because of that, I'm not reading it like straight through back to back. I'm reading fiction in between. So I'm trying to read one chapter of this in between every book that I read. So I have to finish a chapter before I can actually start this book. So we will see. But that is the plan for this evening. As I said, we are experiencing winter here, so I will put a little clip of it that I took earlier today. Yeah, we had a big snowstorm over the weekend, and basically we did not leave the house between Friday evening and Monday morning, and church was canceled on Sunday because of that. It was miserable. So much snow, so cold, like just winter can say goodbye now. We've had it, it can leave. But they're calling for more snow. Of course, I mean, that is the reality of where I live. I have to learn to accept it, but I haven't. So, oh well. So let's read. I'm also watching the PWHL hockey game right now, one of the hockey games right now, because my NHL team is not playing tonight, so let's go with the women instead. I'm still cheering for the same city though, because why not? Right? Makes sense. Okay, so that is my check-in for now. I will check in a bit later to tell you how this book is going. Noisy plow. Okay, while my coffee's doing its thing, I'll update you. It is now Thursday. I am home from work and it is snowing outside, so I took a little bit of a clip of that. Thankfully it's light, but I thought it's perfect to make a cup of coffee. And we got these hot cold color changing mugs for Christmas from his friends, so that's what I'm going to use. So I'll show you as it's heating up. But while I wait for that to heat up, I'll talk about what I read last night. So I did read a chapter of my nonfiction book. Then I read a chapter of this book, which is 20 pages. Yeah, I'm on page 22. And the things I have found out so far, in that one chapter, we've had 3, maybe 4 different scenes so far. And from what I'm gathering, what I think happened is it was different. Like first we were celebrating Nick's birthday with his with his family, and Ivy does not have a great relationship with his sisters especially. They just kind of ignore her and leave her out, and I think it's because his mom dotes on, he's the only boy, and his mom dotes on him, and the sisters are just kind of jealous of him, so because of that, they pass it on to Ivy. Then we find out that one of the sisters is pregnant, and Ivy and Nick have had problems getting pregnant, and they're looking into adoption. So that's caused some tension. Now, I don't know if the family knows that side of it, or if that's just between Ivy and Nick. Don't know yet. Then we jump to Ivy with one of her sisters who's just come back from college, and there's a scene there kind of what that sister's going to do for the summer. Then there's another scene with Ivy and another sister, and the way that one sister's talking about the other sister is not very nice, like not very sisterly, and that kind of annoyed me already. So I don't know, I don't know, it's not starting out well, but we will see how it goes. And now my mug's starting to change, so I'm gonna flip you around. It's like the perfect mug for today. other than the fact that I'd rather not have snow. Oh my. Okay. Put that down. I gotta share this. This is funny. I have to stop at the drugstore after work anyway. I used the last of the shampoo this morning and Nick needs a new toothbrush. Again? You're always buying that man a new toothbrush. Ivy considered this. There was some truth to it. How do you know that? You always tell me. He gets a new one every 3 weeks. He heard on NPR that if you change your toothbrush that often, you're less likely to catch a virus. 3 weeks. Huh. Interesting. Okay, it's another day, and it's time for another check-in. So I have made it much further than I had yesterday. Was it yesterday? I was only 20 pages in. I am now at page 106 of 385 pages. And when I went to go check how many pages it was, I read the last line of the book ends. Oops. I just completely spoiled myself. But it also gave me hope because I'm not liking the relationship in this book right now between the husband and wife, and both of them are just kind of really annoying me. And Ivy's complaining about something, and I'm kind of like, well, why? Like, I don't want to give spoilers, but I'm also like, you didn't expect that? You didn't see that coming? And then Nick just is kind of doesn't treat her very nicely. Not in like a physical abuse way. Just sometimes like, oh, you're gonna go put on something nicer than that? Like just little snide comments. Kind of annoys me. But we will keep going. They now have the kids in their house. And so they're tracking down what happened to the mother from the neighbor, like that for these kids, and kind of what's going to happen with the kids and what's going to happen with Ivy and Nick trying to adopt. And the thing that's kind of bothering me, well, a couple things. I mean, other than their attitudes towards one another a little bit or towards things around them, there are multiple points of view in this. Multiple. Like, so we have Ivy and Nick. Then we have Ivy's, at least two sisters have had a point of view so far, plus Ivy's mother. And sometimes there's a couple storylines that like, how does that connect to what we're following? Because you're following a sister and what's going on, like, is it going to tie together? I don't know. And then there's something happening in the sister's life, like the way she's acting in a certain situation. It's like, maybe you shouldn't be doing that. And Ivy tries to talk to her and she doesn't see it. And yeah, right now the characters are annoying me. That's my overall feeling of this book. But I'm only 100 pages in. And as I said, I now know what happens at the end for between at least two of the characters anyways. So I have hope. So 285 pages left to go. I will keep reading and see what happens. So tonight is a Friday night. My husband's just gone grocery shopping. He does a lot of the grocery shopping. I make the grocery list, show him what, if there's a certain item, I pull it up in the flyer and show him exactly what it looks like. And when we do like our big grocery shop, I will go then. But he said, well, I'll go so you can film tonight. Meaning I was planning on filming an actual video, not a vlog clip. But I'm not. I I was going to, but I'm not 100% comfortable on the idea I had. I want to kind of sit with it a little bit more and work on that. And then I'm just not feeling the greatest, but I just want to sit and veg. So I'm going to sit and read. And I'm hoping there's a hockey game on to listen to. Or maybe even watch on YouTube. I don't know. But tomorrow, Saturday, January the 30th, so January the 20th, wow, I'm really pushing things. January the 20th is Hockey Day in Canada, which means on CBC, which is the sports channel that I get because it's part of basic cable, and they have hockey games. All the Canadian teams are playing in a game, like they each have a game tomorrow, and so there are games pretty much all day long, starting, I think it starts maybe at 1 or something. So yeah, I'm excited for that because I will be able to watch not only my team play, but a bunch of other teams play as well. And I think there's also a women's hockey game happening during that too, I think. So yeah, it's gonna be a hockey day tomorrow, and hopefully I can get this read. But I also do have some other stuff I want to work on tomorrow. But I will update you when tomorrow comes and I really know what I'm doing. And maybe there'll be some reading sprints tonight. I'll see if I can find something. I don't know. So yeah, my evening is going to be this. Today's not a very exciting day. I worked, came home. I'm enjoying a cup of coffee right now in my main cup. I love this cup. It's a nice size. Yeah. And I love pulling out the mugs from where we've traveled. Kind of. And it's, oh, I just realized, it's perfect. This book is set in Maine. That's perfect. It was just, our other cups were in the dishwasher that I normally use. So it just, but, well, that was a nice coincidence, wasn't it? Okay. I'm going to sign off here, and I will check back in when I'm a little bit further to let you know if I've started to like these characters more than I do right now. Just a mini grocery haul. Didn't need a whole lot this week. It is Saturday morning, and I'm gonna keep reading and see. I've made it past the halfway mark. I'm on page 211. So we'll keep going. I'm getting more invested in the story than I was, but there is a storyline with the sister going on that I do not approve of. And yeah, I'm hoping it doesn't continue for much longer. We will see. We left the house. Do you want to say hi, Andrew?
Hi, Andrew.
You took me out.
Yeah, I gotta take her out once in a while.
We went to a thrift store.
Yay!
Yep. And now we're gonna go home and watch hockey.
Another yay! Alright.
In my comfy place. Supper time.
You bet.
Are you ready?
Let's eat.
It is Sunday now. We have gone to church this morning, and now we are just getting gas to go meet some friends for lunch, and then we're going to play games this afternoon. I'm so excited. I love playing board games, or just games in general. And my husband's not so keen on it, but this couple loves it as well, so that's what we're doing. Okay, that is my check-in for now, and I will check in a bit later. It is now Sunday evening. I did not take any video of us playing games because I was invested in the games. I was playing and keeping score, and I wasn't recording. But we had a really good time, and it went so much quicker. It was like, it's that time already? That happens when you have a good time, right? So now we kind of had a little snack for supper after our big lunch, which was really good. And then Oshina and Holly were doing live, and then they did a sprint for their Read in the New Year is what it was called. And I completely forgot it was going on this week and didn't even really pay attention to it. But I did read one book for one prompt that is part of a series, so that works out perfectly. I don't know what the other 6 prompts were. Historical, I know, was one of them. A short book was one of them, so this isn't either one of those. But, I mean, I at least got one book in that meets one of the prompts, so I'm happy with that. So I did finish this last night. I have not written a review yet because I kind of wanted to come on and share my thoughts before I write a review. So, as you know, when I last checked in, I was somewhat annoyed with some of these characters. And I felt that way probably most of the way through the book. However, once we got near the end, especially, I'd spoiled myself for the ending, right? And I needed to know how we got to that ending. And so then I was invested in the story and wanted to know. And then it kind of something else was happening. I was like, don't do that. Don't do that. And they don't do that. Thankfully, they come to their senses and realize what they're doing. And so then we get the ending I wanted. The ending, I knew it was going to happen, but how was it going to get there? We get to that point, it was like, oh, okay. I just expected more. Because it was like, I felt like we went from here to here. Like, the couple was here, and then all of a sudden it was here. And it was like, how did you get from here to here without talking? It just... Yeah. But I really like the message of the story. And the big takeaway for me, kind of the message, and I don't think this was the only message of the story, was things in your past. Yes, you're forgiven for them, but they still have an effect on your future. So Ivy makes a decision back in her college years, and it is now affecting her life. It is still affecting her life and her relationship with those around her 8 years later because of that one decision she made at the time. And she's asked for forgiveness, but it's still it's in the background there. And it has made a permanent impact on her future. And kind of because of that decision, other things she will never get. And so I really liked that message and that thought that every choice has consequences. Every single choice. So you can't just, I'll do this once and that's it. No. There are ripple effects of that simple choice that might just be, right? So I did really enjoy that message of it. The thing that was lacking for me is there are too many points of views and too many storylines going on. Because we've got Ivy, Nick, Laura, Jane, Damien. Those are the primary ones that kind of we follow points of views. I don't think there was, I think those are the so there's 5 points of view that I can remember for sure. I feel like there might have been another sister involved, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But, and I mean, each one, that's at least 3 different generations of people between the 5 points of view. So, which was kind of interesting. I really enjoyed Damien. Not Damien. Deshaun is his name. He is one of the foster kids that comes to live with Ivy and Nick, and I enjoyed following him and learning kind of his and watching his passion for cooking grow. That was really interesting. Like the things he did with grilled cheese sandwiches. Really, actually, I think that might have been a prompt in the Read in the New Year was a food storyline. There was definitely a food storyline for him going on. So yeah, that was interesting. So I think I'm going to give this book 3 stars because there's a lot that just annoyed me about the characters. And I would have liked to have more communication between the characters to work things out rather than just things are bad, things are good. What? Okay, so I did finish that one. And I have read a chapter in this book tonight. So I did that during the sprints. So now I need to pick my next book. But before I pick my next book, I got some book mail. And I actually got this last Saturday during our snowstorm. And I messaged the person that sent it to me. And I have peeked inside. So I know what the book is. But I have not unwrapped the book. I could see through the tissue paper. And so this is from a sweet friend. And I have tried to message her, but I don't think she's got the message. So you know who you are, especially when I unveil this. And I want to say thank you so much. Once again, like you've been so kind to me. So it says, congrats on reaching 600 subscribers. I'm sorry this is late. The milestone crept up on me and I totally missed it. I hope you enjoy this one. So I'm actually at 685, 40, 684, something like that now. Like, but I'm so shocked. I'm so amazed every time I see you got a new subscriber. And I'm like, thank you. Like, I appreciate it. I'm glad you guys are enjoying. Okay, so here's the book. As I said, I kind of peeked, so I know what it is. But let's unwrap it together. At Love's Command by Karen Whitmire. So this is book 1 of the Hanger's Horseman series. I own book 2 and book 3, but I only had book 1 on my Kindle. So now I complete the set. That I'm so excited because I didn't have this one. And I really enjoyed this series. This one was a 4-star read for me, and books 2 and 3 were 5 stars. Both of them. And book 2 is probably one of my top, well, it is one of my top faves for the year, for 2023. So yes, thank you so much. So now that I have finished that fiction book, I have pretty much finished my January TBR. Well, with the exception of this book. However, as I said, it's a nonfiction. I'm reading a chapter at a time. So I need a fiction book in between. So I thought, well, before I end this vlog, let's choose what my next fiction book will be. I have 2 options here. I have Mountain Abduction Rescue by Darlene L. Turner. This is a love-inspired romantic suspense, and it was loaned to me by a friend probably at the beginning of December, maybe even November, not sure. So I need to get it read, and I want to read it before the end of the month. So this one is a wildlife threat becomes a missing person search. A serial arsonist is out for revenge in the Canadian Rocky Mountains and kidnaps park warden Hazel Hoyt's son and his camping troupe. Now Hazel must team up with the man who broke her heart, firefighter Mitchell Booth, to find the missing boys as wildfires blaze around them. But someone has no intention of letting the pair get out of the mountain alive. So it is a park warden and a firefighter dealing with a kidnapping and wildfires set in Alberta. I'm interested, and as I said, I want to get this back before the end of the month to my friend. Well, probably beginning of February by the time I return it to her, but that's okay. Then the other book I have is Embers in the London Sky by Sarah Sundin. This is her new release that is coming out February the 6th, and I was blessed with an advanced reader copy through NetGalley, and so I want to get this one read before the end of the month. Now, I do have 10 days before the end of the month, so I will easily get both of these books read. So I thought, well, let's go with a spinner wheel to choose what my next read will be. So that's what I'm going to do. I have them put on a spinner wheel. So I have them entered. And I've just entered each one 3 times to get a little bit more on the wheel than just 2 big splits. So I'm going to record my screen. Okay, so let's go. Okay, we're going to read this book. My friend will be happy because I will get it read. She has read it and really enjoyed it, and I have enjoyed a lot of Darlene's books in the past, and Darlene is a local author to us who my friend actually knows personally. I don't even know. No, this one's not signed, but a lot of them she has signed by her already. So that's really cool. So yes, this one will be the one that I will read, and I will talk about it in my January wrap-up that will come at the beginning of February. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this vlog today, and I hope you enjoyed. Didn't really do a lot of exciting stuff, but I read a book, so that's good. So I want to thank you, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.